What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today, we're going to be using the Mega Torkoal team. Did I just say Mega Torkoal? No, we're using the Mega Houndoom team today with Torkoal Lilligant, Houndoom, Tapu Lele, Thunder's Fairing, and Garchomp. Let's get started and play some games. If you haven't checked out the previous episode, highly recommend go check it out. But in the last episode, we did go 1-2. Missed quite a few attacks, but that's kind of expected this team when you're running a bunch of moves that can miss. That's kind of drawback of this team. It has a lot of power and, you know, can have a lot of disruption with sleep powder, but you are relying on those more inconsistent moves that if you miss, it's a pretty big deal. And yep. So there were definitely, I think, a few plays that I could made better, and I did go back and watch that video. But right here, 1524 rated player from Japan to kick things off with Gothma with. Okay, this is a really interesting version. We got Gothma, Coco, Tapu Bulu, Incineroar, and Gyarados. So two potential Mega Evolutions, Gyarados and Mawile. Torkoal's really good here. Houndoom's really good here. Lele's really good here. If I had Poison Jab on my Garchomp, it would actually be great here, but I don't. I think I go Torkoal Lilligant here still. With Lele Houndoom in the back. The only lead I could see is Incineroar. I predict Incineroar. I could predict Incineroar. Maybe I go Tapu Lele Torkoal. It's a weird lead, but All Out Pummeling covers the Incineroar. Yeah. With Lilligant, Houndoom in the back. This is like a really weird combination. But I'm afraid of if I lead Torkoal Lilligant, you're going to lead Goth Incineroar, because I feel like that would be your best potential lead, because you trapped my Pokemon in, so I can't double into Lele, and you could switch out Gothitelle into Coco to prevent my sleep powers, and Incineroar then has a fun time against my team. So that's the reason I don't want to go like that kind of lead. On the other side, I guess you could go like Tapu Coco Gothitelle. Yeah, that could be a really scary lead as well. Let's see what my opponent's gonna go for. If it's Coco plus the Gothitelle, but it is Gothitelle and Incineroar. Okay. If it was gonna be Coco Gothitelle, I think I would all out pummeling the Tapu Koko slot, expecting a Volt Switch in Incineroar, but if it's this case, I'm going to all out pummeling your Incineroar and hope you don't Ally Switch immediately turn 1 if you do have it. Eruption plus all out pummeling should cover any switching, and even then, like, my opponent really doesn't have much damage threatening my Torkoal other than the Psychic potential from Gothitelle. And in that case, do I want a Heat Wave? I'll Heat Wave here. Although, I feel like if you do have Trick Room, you might go for it here. So, you know what? I'm going to Eruption all out pummeling. I should knock out Incineroar, unless you go for the switch, scouting for it, which would be a good play. But then I get a knockout, because you don't have a safe double. Except Gyarados, I guess. Gyarados is probably the one double that you can make. But it would still be taking a good amount of damage from Sun Boosted Eruption and all out pummeling. So, let's see. You ally switch here, I guess Lele goes down, but Incineroar takes a bit of recoil and Eruption does a decent amount. Then I get Houndoom in. Okay, so no switch outs, which is nice. All out pummeling. This is definitely gonna hurt your Incineroar, and I will go for a turn 1 because you don't have safe switches to Torkoal other than this Incineroar that's already on the field and Gyarados potentially in the back. All out pummeling. Let's see how much this does. Are you Assault Vest? I could definitely see Assault Vest on this team. You are not Assault Vest, so Gyarados and Incineroar turn 1, great. That's pretty much the big resistance to fire my opponent had on the team. And we're going to see just a Psychic in the Torkoal, so I should have just went for the Heat Wave, because that does a huge amount of damage. Eruption's not going to do much single target. Heat Wave would have done more, but that's not the worst case, I guess. What's going to come out here is the question, though. Bulu, potentially? Although, yeah, Bulu's gonna come out. Okay. I do have Houndoom in the back. I don't mind losing both my Pokemon here, potentially. And, yeah, I'll just Heat Wave here, because I don't want my opponent to set up Oh, if you set up Trick Room. Isn't that fine for me? Well, yeah, I'm just gonna double Gothitelle anyway. I don't see a reason not to. Worst case is Bulu is able to knock out Torkoal, but I don't know if Bulu can. It might be able to, but we'll see. Because worst case scenario is like Rock Slide, I think, and Trick Room. Maybe I should have protected if that's the case. I do get a special attack drop here, which could be huge because you're going for Wood Hammer in the top of Lele. So the Moonblast drop might have mattered. But I would have just gone into I would have gone into Houndoom regardless and just click Heat Wave. So I didn't really mind that at all anyway. Yeah. And Psychic might not have KO'd. Psychic actually might not have KO'd by how much damage that did. I do get the knockout onto Torkoal and... I mean the Gothitelle and the Tapu Bulu. Nice. Again, not sure if that mattered because the Psychic, it might have been a roll. I'm not sure if it would have KO'd. But even then, I got Torkoal in. I get Houndoom next to Lilligant after you Heat Wave. Unless you miss. Not really a big deal in my opinion. Yeah, Maul comes out. Are you gonna Sucker Punch? I mean, I just gotta go for Sleep Powder Heat Wave because even if you knock out the Torkoal, doesn't matter. Even if you go for Sucker Punch and I miss Sleep Powder, it doesn't matter. As long as I hit something with Houndoom, I win the game. I get multiple chances to hit Heat Waves, Sleep Powders, whatever I really want. Match is gonna be forfeited. Yeah, so my opponent didn't really have really great answers, it felt like, to the combination. We're gonna be able to pick up a really quick win. That was a really quick win. But that all-out pummeling, paying off dividends, it does really catch a lot of opponents off guard, and it's a really good tool for Incineroar, which has been really common. I think it's currently the #2 most used Pokemon on Battle Spot currently on the Championship Battle Spot ladder. So it's pretty nice to have, and your opponent thinks they might be safe against the Tapu Lele, Moonblast worst case. But no, that all-out pummeling is something that you do have to watch out for. It's something that was really popular in the beginning of the format. However, kind of dropped in usage quite a bit, and yeah. I'm thinking it's still a pretty good tool. Especially with Incineroar's running. Why is there a Teddy Ursa? That's a Teddy Ursa. What's my answer? Torkoal, Lilligant, Houndoom, Thundurus Varian. For sure. Lele doesn't do too much in this matchup. Thundurus can do a lot of work, especially with that Choice Scarf, Hidden Power Ice for that. Salamence, let's go. Alright. What is going on as the lead for my opponent? Salamence knocking it down is really scary. Because I had to predict who has Tailwind and who I want to Sleep Powder. So, Torkoal Lilligant. Salamence Primarina. I really want to Sleep Powder Primarina. Leaf Storm, I don't believe KO's Primarina. Primarina has a really high special defense if people do not know. Hyper Voice could come out here. This is kind of a scary position. I kind of wish I let Thundurus Varian. I'm going to Sleep Powder Primarina. Actually, this could be an in-game team for all I know. Primarina's going to switch out. Okay. Into the Naganadel. Which is great because getting a sleep turn on that Pokemon is pretty big for me. Because I can Sleep Power Immense next turn and HP Ice the Naganadel. For a 2-hit KO potentially. So I'll take this trade. And Salamence is going to Mega Evolve, so most likely you're attacking here. If you protect you, that's fine for me because I get to Sleep Powder you the following turn. Well, I get to Sleep Powder you the following turn regardless anyway. I do connect to Sleep Power Naganadel, so it has to take a guaranteed turn of sleep in the future. And what does the Salamence go for? Hyper Voice, Tailwind, Tailwind, okay. Tailwind's a bit annoying, but I can stall it out. You might protect Salamence, or you might Hyper Voice, or you might switch out. Those are your options. Sleep Powder is the best play onto the Salamence and just HP Ice the Naganadel. Yep. The problem is I do have to get rid of both of these Pokemon as Salamence does retreat here, so that's really good for me. Primarina is going to come in, so I get a Sleep Powder off into that Primarina, which is really solid here. As Naganadel going to take its first turn to guaranteed sleep. Sleep Powder does come out, does hit the Primarina, which is nice. So that Pokemon's guaranteed to turn to sleep next turn if it does decide to stay in. And Hidden Power Ice should be a 2KO on Naganadel, I want to say. Yeah, very nice damage. Only thing I can see is like a Z move that can knock out Thunder's Fairing, and I hope that's not the case because that would be pretty bad. I could draw off a Leaf Storm here, but Primarina could switch out into Salamence, but I don't think I really mind that too much because you're stalling out your own Tailwind turns, and Primarina wouldn't have taken a turn of sleep in the back. Yeah, so we're going to see Salamence. Naganadel take a turn of sleep. Leaf Storm going to come out into the Primarina. This is going to do a massive amount of damage. It actually picks up a knockout, which I was not expecting. So I think that Primarina doesn't have much investment in its HP. And Power Eye is going to knock out the Naganadel. And that's 2 knockouts. Last turn of Tailwind, I can easily stall out. And then it comes down to the last Pokemon that my opponent has, because it's Salamence and Lele. These have been some really fast games, I just realized. We're on the second game and we're only 11 minutes in and it's already looking near the end. Salamence. And Lele. Yeah. So I definitely 100% need my... I 100% need my Thundurus in the end game. I don't really need my Houndoom in the end game because I need Sun Up still. So I'll just protect here, stall out that Tailwind turn, and I don't want to see Psychic into that Thundurus. So I'll go into Houndoom because it could cover that basis. If it's Moonblast and Hyper Voice, I get knocked out, but I get my free switch into my Thundurus Fairy in the following turn, and I can Sleep Powder, Hidden Power, Ice. So protect here with my Lilligant. Zimu, Shower Psyche? Oh, is this in the Houndoom? That in the Houndoom? Please show me it's Houndoom. Oh, it's the ally switch. Okay. Things got a bit interesting. Double Edge into... Okay. You could double protect to stall out the last turn of Tailwind. The ally switch is a bit scary to deal with, but yeah, since I have 4 turns to stall out, I'll just overheat and Sleep Powder. Yeah, because I feel like you would double protect here if you're my opponent. Maybe I should have Destiny Bonded my Houndoom, because if I Destiny Bonded my Houndoom, I could get a go into my Torkoal the following turn. No double protects. Not even a protect on Salamence. Okay. I was hoping one of them wouldn't protect to try to break the Sash on Lilligant. This works out in my favor if I just connect the overheat. If I connect the overheat, I do win the game. Salamence taking his first turn of sleep. I do connect the overheat, and this is overheat in the sun that should knock out Tapu Lele. And this game should be pretty much wrapped up because I do have Thunder's Fairing in the back with Hidden Power Ice. And sun does fade. I think I'll just go... I don't need to... I'm not going to attack Houndoom. I'm going to go into Thunder's Fairing. And I think I'll Sleep Powder the Salamence slot in case you wake up and go for Tailwind here. As a match, that's going to be forfeited. Okay. Match could have been different if my opponent went for a double protect, because it would have been weird for me because I feel like my opponent could get a free Tailwind up. I would have probably had to decide if I sacked Lilligant right there or not. And also, I feel like Psychic, I don't remember if it knocks out Thunder's Fairing. I don't feel like it does at full HP, but if it does, then it could have actually been a scary position. But Double Edge, I don't know if it had Hyper Voice. I mean, Tailwind might have had Hyper Voice, could have been Earthquake as the last move. But luckily it didn't, and we connected the overheat, so we got rid of Lele. There was no ally switch, and even if you did ally switch, I ally switched the... I mean, I get Lele, and I get a huge amount into Salamence with its unboosted overheat, which... If it's naive, I wonder if it can actually pick up the KO. As we got R from Japan, 1626 rated player. That is probably our last opponent of the day, I would assume. Thunder's Fairing, Gothitelle, Scrafty, Mawile, Politoed, and Tapu Fini. Fun. Very fun. I have Sleep Powder Rain against my entire opponent. I have Sleep Powder options. I have Torkoal options. I have Houndoom options. Houndoom looks actually really fun here. I like Thunder's a lot. I just don't like Lilligant as much. I could really like Thunder's and Lilligant and try to Volt Switch out. Do I like Houndoom? I like it quite a bit because it functions outside and can get big heat wave damage off. I don't feel like I need it though. I think I'm gonna go Thunderous Lilligant here with Lele and Torkoal. I'm not sure how well this is gonna work, but I feel like I can because I can Volt Switch out immediately. My opponent leads like, I don't think he would lead Scrafty plus Gothita because that's really big to the top of Lele lead. Although I have pretty free reign to Sleep Powder because my opponent doesn't have a good double. Because I always Volt Switch and get a Lele, and that always gives me priority over the Feeny. If Feeny doesn't lead, I get to switch out right away. Unless it's a Eject button on one of the Pokemon like Scrafty or Politoed, for instance. I don't know if this... I don't think it's No, I don't think it's Perish Trap. It could be like a semi-Perish mode, but I don't think it's a full-on Perish Trap team because it's got quite a bit of offense. We'll see here, though. What are you gonna lead? My... Lilligant Thunderous. Scrafty Mawa. Can't I just go into Lilligant and Sleep Powder? I mean Lele and Sleep Powder? I guess that doesn't cover a Feeny switching in potentially? I'm gonna go Lele and Sleep Powder though, because I feel like you would fake out maybe Fundus Fairing in case of the Volt Switch. Yeah. Because like I feel like the plays are you fake out. I just don't know if you hard switch right here. It might be obvious, but like if you hard switch out and I Volt Switch, you're in a really rough position. So either way, like I feel like my opponent can make both plays. They're kind of justifiable. But I feel like you would not hard switch Scrafty here. Yeah, you don't. Okay. So Moa most likely going to go to sleep. I also got her on hitting the Sleep Powder, which is also a bit of a problem. Fake Out does come out into the Thunder slot. I do get a Sleep Powder, and it does connect with the Moa. Excellent. I could Moonblast the Scrafty. I think I want to go hard Torkoal here though and just Sleep Powder the Scrafty slot. I like that play because I could see, I think Scrafty's forced to switch out here into maybe Gothita or Politoed, and I don't think you would go Politoed. I think you go Goth here to try to trap my Pokemon in, and by getting Torkoal in, I can threaten an Eruption Leaf Storm into the Maul the following turn, which should still be able to pick up a knockout. Fiend is going to come out. Okay. Does that mean no Gothita or no Politoed? Either way, I'm good with either. Oh, stays asleep, which is good. And I'm going to fire off an Eruption here. I don't see a reason not to, and just Leaf Storm the Feeny slot. There's either a Politoed or a Gothita on the back, and I can always switch out if I really want to. Leaf Storm does threaten the Feeny, Eruption does threaten the Mawile, so no matter what you want to switch, I get a lot of damage off no matter what. I don't think you switch Feeny out into Politoed either, so I think Mawile would be forced to switch out, and I'm still okay with that, as Feeny is going to switch out here into Politoed, so that's a Leaf Storm. Okay. I'll take that trade because weakening the Politoed is really big for my team, and weakening the Mawile too, because it's now an all-out pummeling range. So yeah, my position's looking pretty good. Leaf Storm going to connect with the Politoed. Actually just blows it back. Not even a critical hit, it looks like. So I get rid of Politoed, so that means I can reset my Weather anytime I want. Maw does wake up and is able to get an Iron Head off into the Torkoal, maybe expecting Lele to come in? Yeah, I could see that because you might expect a double here because the Politoed switch is obvious, but an Eruption does some pretty good damage. I don't really need Lele in this game anymore. I don't. Feeny should be coming out. I think I Sleep Powder that Pokemon and switch into... Or Scrafty comes in again. Not sure about the Scrafty play. Reason I don't get it is because I can just go back into Lele, and even if you double out, it doesn't make a difference. Because I can sleep powder them all and just go, because Torkoal will always switch out last. Yeah, you can go into Feeny there, but then I just get a free sleep powder into your Feeny slot. I still have my Sash with Lilligant. And now Moonblast is threatening a lot of damage onto your Scrafty slot. Yeah, interesting ways to switch here. Sleep powder gonna come out into the Feeny. Do connect. Didn't have to connect, but really nice that it did. And what's the Scrafty going for? Knockoff? Poison Jab. Into the Lilligant slot. Nice, no poison, which is really good here. I'll fire off a Psychic into Feeny because I do want damage on that Feeny. Or I can Moonblast the Scrafty, that works too. Both are viable. I could also just sleep powder to Scrafty if I want to, but I really don't want to make that play. It's really unnecessary. I'll go into Thunderous and Moonblast the Scrafty. Match is just going to be forfeited. I guess we'll play one more. I didn't expect the last game to go that quickly, but we are able to pick up a win. Yeah, no Gothitelle. Trapping Mui was amazing, although I did have momentum with Volt Switch, even if my opponent did have that. And yeah, Sleep Powder was pretty tough for my opponent to maneuver around. Volt Switch was hard to maneuver around, and the Torkoal just able to do a lot of work. So yeah, just able to pick up a quick victory. We're gonna go for one more, I guess. I did not expect it. But let's go. We're going for one more win. Torkoal Lilligant Houndoom didn't get to make an appearance, unfortunately. It actually could have done a lot of work. It really could have done a lot of work. Although I feel like the Pokemon that I chose were actually pretty good for the matchup. France. A Japanese opponent from France? Or maybe, no, just an opponent from France, probably. With a team of Cresselia, Heatran, Zapdos, Landorus Variant, Tapu Fini, and Kangaskhan. So this is going to be a bit of a rougher matchup. For sure. For sure. Torkoal Lilligant with Lele Houndoom in the back. I like that. I just like it a lot. I'm just not sure about Garchomp in this matchup. It's strange. It could do okay against the Heatran. I am relying on Lele once again, but then again, I do have Earth Power on the Torkoal, so I guess it's not my only Torkoal option here. If you lead Heatran and get up Substitute, that's actually... If you have Sub... Oh, I just realized I do really bad against Sub Heatran. And King Heatran does lead here. Fake out Lilligant sub. I think that covers all your bases. I think I'm gonna Earth Power and Protect. You could also fake out Torkoal, but it's really unlikely because of Lele that could come in. I'm just gonna Earth Power Protect. I feel like I don't lose too much unless you do decide to fake out the Torkoal, which is already a really hard read that I don't feel like you have to make. You could also double edge here the Lilligant and go for a sub here. But I do feel like sub is coming from that Heatran. And I need to prevent Heatran from getting up a sub. Frustration comes out into the... Okay. I get that play because you can catch the Lele on the switch. That did a lot of damage. Heat Wave gonna come out. Okay. It shouldn't KO. Yeah, it doesn't. And Earth Power in the Heatran. It is a Shuckle Berry variant. However, not bad. Not bad. Alright. Into Houndoom we go. Sleep Powder to Kangaskhan we go. You could double out on a Feeny here. Okay, we hit Sleep Powder, which is good on the Kang. I didn't want Frustration going out into Houndoom. Heat Wave's probably going to come out anyway. Yeah, Heat Wave, Flash Fire. So this Houndoom's attacks are going to be really boosted. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. I'll take that. We take those to the bank. Okay, nice. Feeny should be in the back, right? I just don't know if you switch Kang out into Feeny here. I definitely can see you doing it. I think I just protect Houndoom and go out in a Lele, because I can all out Pummeling Heatran. If there's no sub up, that means you're not going for sub, I feel like. So I'll go into Lele. It'll take a Sun Boosted Heat Wave and can fire off an all out Pummeling into the Heatran. And with the Sun plus a Flash Fire, Heat Wave might be able to 2-hit KO Feeny, which is crazy. Gonna stay in with both Pokemon, okay. Oh, Heatran protects. That's amazing for me. Oh, that means you're frustrating if you wake up. Yeah. That's gonna... Oh, Houndoom. Why? Okay, I'll take that. I don't know why my opponent decided to go for that play. Heat Wave with Flash Fire should knock out Kangaskhan. Unless it's a really, really bulky set. And I'm gonna all-out pummeling the Heatran. I am risking quite a bit because I could overheat here, but I really don't want to overheat in this position if I feel like I don't have to, and I don't feel like I have to. Maybe overheat was the correct play though. It just depends on what kind of Kangaskhan this is. Heatran going to switch out, so Feeny. Very nice play on my opponent's part, scouting for that all-out pummeling. But it should be in range of my attack anyway. It should be in range of Focus Blast anyway, so I guess that's not the worst case. If Kangaskhan survives, though, we're going to have some issues, because that frustration is probably going to knock out Houndoom after Solar Power. So I got to figure this out. Okay, if we knock out Kangaskhan, I'll take that trade. Why did that do nothing? That's Flash Fire Solar Power boosted and only did 60%. What? I guess I should have overheated, but why did that not do anything? I am a confused little boy. Okay. It's still not the worst case, I guess. Yeah, it's still not too bad. Although my damage output got significantly reduced. Not the worst case. Frustration into the Houndoom. That's not gonna KO. Okay, it doesn't. I just don't know if you have Sucker Punch or not. Yeah, like that did nothing. I'm gonna Heat Wave Focus Blast to Kangaskhan in case Heatran decides to come in. You have Sucker, okay. That's fine. Because Houndoom was pretty much gonna go down anyway. I guess I got Destiny Bonded. But I just wasn't sure if this Kangaskhan carried Sucker Punch. Oh, that stinks a little bit. Your Specs, Feeny, okay. Sun fades, but no big deal because Lilligant can come out. Because the reason I went for that play is because if you don't have Sucker Punch, it covers that play. But since you do, Leaf Storm still covers the Feeny. The problem is Sucker Punch can knock out Lele. That has to be Specs Feeny, right? You don't want me to let it go down. I'm gonna Leaf Storm to Kang and go on a Torkoal. I don't feel like you should let me get Feeny potentially. Or are you fine trading Feeny for Kang here? I'll get Torkoal in the drought. Yeah. Into Heatran? Yep. Okay. Sucker Punch, perfect. Get Leaf Storm off. Now I'm threatening a few things. Helping Hand, I mean, after you Earth Power looks really tempting in the Heatran. I could also go for a Leaf Storm and a Feeny, yet I don't feel like that's not the safest play for sure. I could go into Lele and Sleep Powder if I really want to. I think maybe going to Lele and Sleep Powder into Heatran is my safest play because it covers a lot of options. Cresselia gonna come out. If your ally switch, we're not really gonna predict that, are we? You know what? I'm Sleep Powder. You know what? I'm gonna Sleep Powder the Cresselia slot and go out into my Lele because I could see ally switch. I could also see Icy Wind protect, which is why I kind of want to make this play. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Because, yeah, I could see Protect Trick Room or Protect Ally Switch. Or Icy Wind here. So I get Sleep Powder into the Cresselia. Oh, that's amazing. This is amazing here. Because now I can Leaf Storm, Focus Blast to Heatran slot. And if Feeny comes in, I probably pick up the Knockout since it's Specs. Yeah, that's amazing for me. And I definitely can see Feeny coming out. So I'm going to Leaf Storm and Focus Blast that slot. Covers both plays. The only problem is dealing with the Heatran afterward. Feeny's going to come out. Yep. I guess maybe I could double Lele back into Torkoal. Leaf Storm. Focus Blast should be able to knock it out. Well, that's why we run the Z move. It's for that kind of situation. I'm gonna Leaf Storm here, the Feeny. This is a weird spot. This is absolutely a weird spot. I want to Leaf Storm the Feeny and go into Torkoal, but the problem is, one, I'm probably gonna lose my. The problem is I'm probably gonna lose my Sun to Lilligant, and if you get one Icy Wind off, this game just became a whole lot weirder. I don't feel like you switch out into Heatran because Heatran looks like your win condition. If I knock out Heatran, I should be able to win the game potentially, as I think Cresselia went for Ally Switch there. Okay. Leaf Storm. I got the Feeny. Great. Oh, this might be a game of Ally Switch. Pain. You know what I want to predict? I want to go for Earth Power into your Cresselia and after you. Am I crazy? Because that's like my play. Because I feel like I lose in any other circumstance. Because you should know that I had the option to switch into Lele and Sleep Powder to Heatran. Which is why I want to make this play. Because I feel like I would lose if I don't make this kind of play otherwise. Go. Guess who caught him? Yes, who caught him? That's probably one of my top 5 plays ever on VGC 2018 Back-to-Back Battles. But yeah, since my opponent tried to Ally Switch earlier, I felt like he would make that play. You're guaranteed to wake up there. So, ends up working. Excellent. Oof. Oof. That was incredible. Although I still have to fight against this Cresselia, which is not very fun. It's not very fun to fight this Cresselia. However, I can Sleep Powder going to Lele because this Cresselia can still 1v1 me. But that was definitely one of my top 5 plays ever. Wonder how many Icy Winds it takes to knock out the Lele. Sleep Powder. Yeah, this should be a fun time. Now we just have to dawdle on the Lele by going for a Leaf Storm and Moonblast. Maybe get some special attack drops, which could help. If it's Ice Beam on the Cresselia, I guess it's a little bit troublesome, but Icy Wind's not going to do too much. I do get it for a special attack drop, which is nice, since I'll survive more hits. This Leaf Storm's not really going to do anything, but I don't want to reset. Yeah, because Icy Wind's going to come out, which is okay here. With that special attack drop, shouldn't do anything. Yeah, like, look at that damage. Look at that damage. Now I can sleep. I'm just going to keep Sleep Powdering Moonblast. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to. Icy Wind. But yeah, it's going to take quite a feat to knock out Lele and Lilligant, so I have time to rack up damage onto the Cresselia. Maybe get Torkoal in on opportune time. Yeah, because there we go. There's the Sleep Powder. And I feel like I just actually no, since it's the first turn of sleep my opponent has, I'll Leaf Storm here and Moonblast, and the next turn I'll go for Sleep Powder to cover when it wakes up. As the match is going to be for. If my opponent realizes I don't feel like you have enough Icy Winds or sleep turns. You would need like 1 turn wakes, But even then, I just keep going for sleep powder, and I feel like I cover. As long as I hit my sleep powders, I feel like I should be good. But anyway, really intense last game for today's episode. Really hope everyone enjoyed the play I made. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode in general. If you did, please leave a like down below. Show some support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below. So this is my social medias, and all that good stuff will be linked in the description down below. You can check out the placement of this team if you want to go try it out, which will be linked in the description down below. Otherwise, I think that's pretty much it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. And until we battle again, I will catch you later. Have a great day, people. See you around soon.